all, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Harvester. Let's stop kidding around and give this boy his paper.
There now, see how easy it is? Things are so much better between us when you remember the paper in the morning. And let's keep him that way.
I see the boy hasn't learned to
See
act
you
in between
later,
episodes.
alligator.
Shame. Time to explore the town. Gotta love when a store's major selling point is that it's air conditioned. I'm like a minute in and there's already a dick joke? Come on, Harvester, do better. Well, let's go get those asparagus tips. I just noticed that the shopkeep nodded at the player when Steve entered. Hey, that's my horse! Hey, that's my horse! Come on. No baked beans, though.
Can I help you, dear?
Yes, please. Do you have a better
Mrs.
game?
Phelps General Store. So who would that make me? Maybe you need to go back to Gein Memorial and have Miss Whaley teach you about logic.
I'm fuzzy on a lot of things these days. My memory's gone.
Pshaw, you always were a kidder, Steve.
I need some help.
Well, they say a sharp blow to the head is a good thing for amnesia. In which case, I'd recommend Miss Whaley again. Then again, they say a good scare can jog the memory. In which case, I'd advise you to visit the Sergeant at Arms over at the lodge. That man gives me the willies. Speaking of willies, how's your father?
I don't know. My mother keeps him locked in his room, and I can't get in.
Care to buy anything today?
Guess that conversation wasn't going anywhere.
Okay, dear. You check back if you decide there's anything you want. I'll be happy to help you. Come back soon.
Huh, not sure why I left without checking the items for sale, but whatever. Oh, a newspaper building. What fun. Oh, come on. There's no one here to even talk to. There's always room for a shovel. Good job, Steve.
Well, that didn't work.
You can see how great the interface is. I guess I couldn't figure out how to equip the shovel.
Well, that didn't work.
I finally found the all-important trash item. It's no coat hanger, but it'll do. Okay, that's enough of the burnt down building. Okay, time to buy stuff.
Hello, Steve. Care to buy anything today? Just point to whatever you want. I'm a little hard of hearing.
Hard of hearing? Well, that explains the music, I guess. That magazine either has a butt on the cover or Pikachu. I can't really tell. A cow bleeding coffee sounds like a legit coffee brand image for some reason. Okay, time to pay the lady.
A girly magazine? Why, Steve, I'm surprised at you. I'd expect that sort of thing from Deputy Loomis, but never from you.
So he's a
He's
kidder
always
and
coming
a
in
pervert
here
now?
reading the girly magazines behind my counter. Darned if I'd sell him one, though. I know his wife, for heaven's sakes.
Well, will you sell me one?
I certainly will, Steve. That kind of interest is healthy for a young fellow. Steers him away from being a fireman.
Okay, now I'm very confused.
Damn it.
The
Oh, man.
problem is that Steve can't
Okay.
figure out how to open the magazine. So I didn't show the magazine around to anyone, but it does trigger something unique depending on who you show it to, and I'll show that off at the end. Well, this is one thing that Harvester actually does better than Darkseid. It lets players into the barber shop. Well, at least this song is kind of okay. Why was there a sheep in the soundtrack? Go home, Harvester, you're drunk. None of these jokes were even remotely funny. Good old Jim Bob. I really hope there's a UFO ending somewhere in this game, or a dog ending. Both would be better than what we got. Go me for clicking the wrong thing. Oh hey, I just noticed the sheep. I guess that's what was making the noise during the soundtrack. So far the jokes are like 1 in 50.
Howdy, Steve.
Oh
Yeah.
God.
Howdy back, Mr.
Pete Swell, Steve.
Pete's
Don't
swell by
you
name,
violate
Pete's
now?
very swell by
Change
reputation.
Your mind about that aluminum siding?
What are you talking about?
I really think you should talk your father into buying some. He can afford it. And I can't stress enough the value of some really fine aluminum siding. Keeps it warm in the summer, cool in the winter, and it keeps out the sheep. Pastor
Those
Relly
damn
ought to
sheep.
look into some, but I can't get him to understand a word I say.
You know, I have a feeling he can understand you just fine. He's probably ignoring you. I'd ignore you too.
Steve, aluminum siding can't get a fair shake no more. Started when those firemen came to harvest, filling people's heads with newfangled notions like color coordination and interior design. You can paint aluminum, you know, if you want to. But even so, I can't seem to move it anymore. Not even to a rube like Pastorelli. Thank God for the plumbing.
Did you get that, viewers? It's integral for later. No lie.
Pastorelli's a rube from way back. Ask Clem Parsons how he followed up with the alarm system in here. I'm a plumber. I could fix it for him, but he just won't listen.
Again, I can't blame him.
Well, I seen the end coming for the aluminum siding game, so I took a mail course and learned how to be a plumber. Now,
You know, I don't think I've ever played a game where 90% of the character dialogue adds nothing to the overall story, but here we are. That's the face I'm making while watching this video.
can't understand why Pastorelli keeps that nasty thing in here. Must remind him of the pastures in Italy. Kinda like why I keep wrenches under my pillow, so as I can dream about plumbing.
Can't imagine many people would want him fixing their pipes, but whatever.
Stop funning around now.
Well, funnin' is all I got.
Stop funning around now. Nice to see you again, Steve.
Oh, cool. You can type in bye to end
Hello
the
there,
conversation.
youngster. You see them aliens I was telling you about?
Oh, yuck.
They came back last night. Cut another crop circle in myself.
I think he's referring to
How come I
manscaping.
never seen none of them saucers, Clam?
Insert
Maybe
short
it's
joke and
wide.
removing.
You don't cross the intergalactic void without learning a trick or two. You know what Pastorelli did? Yesterday, he gets an alarm system to protect his pole. Only he don't know how to rig it, so now it's all awry.
I mean, a man has to protect his pole. Huh, so I guess this conversation does have some useful information for later. We do need to know about that alarm system.
Pastorelli shelled out for an alarm system, all right, but he's too cheap to hire an electrician to hook her up. Dang idiot cross-wired it through the fire sprinkler, so now when the alarm goes off, it sets the sprinkler spraying.
You want to do that recording again?
Aliens
No?
looking
Well, it's your
for
game.
intelligent life ought to stay away from this shop.
They should probably
Sure
stay
enough.
away from the planet if I'm being honest.
Well, son, the ways of the alien is a specialized area of woodcraft unknown to all but the wiliest sportsmen.
Aliens
What
specialize
you
in
gotta remember
woodworking.
is,
Who
your
knew?
average alien is smarter than your average human. So you gotta be extra careful building your blind if you want to bag one.
You hunt aliens.
Son, after nailing an alien, you can never go back to quail. What? You think you can get one
I
of
can
those
see where
in a
Harvester's
swap
budget
meet?
went.
Line your blind with lead. to
I'd
fool
say this
that
joke is out of this
sensitive
world,
sheep.
but I'd hate to compare this conversation to a somewhat funny pun.
Preferably in the woods around the nuclear base. Oh, they love messing around.
They're definitely sure to come if
Why
you're
not
buck
wait outside
naked.
your field, Clem? Wait for 'em to come a carving.
Oh, they do their crop doodles with zap guns, you darn fool. Don't you know nothing? Besides, ain't no place to put the blind out in the field. Now, you listen to Clem Parsons if you want to tag an unearthly being.
I honestly hope there is a zappy gun somewhere in the game. I'd love one of
Wondering
those.
What lies beyond, all the time not knowing that what awaits them is buckshot.
At least the aliens don't have to suffer and harvest for long.
Pastorelli's a funny sort. Foreigner, don't you know? He cuts hair pretty good, but he don't know spit about nothing else. You just ask him to hook up an alarm system if you need convincing.
If and you reckon our conversation from earlier.
Danged if I follow you, Steve.
Thank goodness you don't.
Danged if I follow you, Steve. Why, that barber's pole of his is his pride and joy. Brought it all the way over from Italy, wrapped all special-like. It ain't nothing but colored glass with some bulbs stuck up in it, but he thinks it's the be-all, end-all. Installed that alarm system just to protect it. Though who in tarnation would want to steal a worthless piece of junk like that? I don't know.
Foreshadowing.
Aliens, Clem.
Oh, Pete, don't be ignorant. Them aliens don't give a fig for no colored glass. You think they
Maybe
can build
Harvester is run by
spaceships that can't
aliens.
Make a dadgum barber pole? Crazy hick, don't know nothing about science. Danged if I follow you, Steve. Anytime, Steve.
I hope I didn't take him up on
Think
his
about taking
anytime
some of that
offer.
siding off.
Guess I was curious as what would happen if I did that. Well, long story short, it lands Steve in jail. I'm actually surprised that there's a somewhat decent cutscene with Steve being driven off in a cop car. Good job, Harvester.
What were you thinking? Attacking someone like that? With so many witnesses around.
Well, I guess I should have
You'll
taken the
have
others
plenty
out
of time
too.
to think about it, boy.
Somebody help me!
No, I don't think I will.
What do you people want from me?
Too late for that, boy. Ain't it, Sergeant?
So, given how this game ends, I'm not sure why attacking the townspeople is a bad thing. Kinda seems like a plot hole.
In the lodge, and you must be alive to see them.
And the interest in this game officially flatlines. Well, let's check out the post office now. At least they didn't attempt to be funny with anything. Mm-hmm. Glad I went back outside for that. Humor! Steve was sent to the
Yes?
corner for being a
need some
shitty
help.
protagonist.
Mr.
Postmaster Boyle, what can I do for you today?
If I'd have to describe a shit-eating grin, well,
That's just
there it
it.
is.
Everyone should learn about their postal service. Mail, young man, is the glue that holds civilization together.
Shut up, Newman.
What a perceptive lad you are. Then you understand why I can't give you an application. You understand standards. You understand the chaos that awaits us beneath the veneer of civilization.
Would you do it for a
Unlike those
porno
fools that
mag?
ran the newspaper building. They actually thought their paper more important than the mail, the glue. More timely. Turned everyone from writers to readers, and the glue suffered.
Sounds like
I tell
Harvest
you, the
needs some better
newspaper building
horses.
Burning down was the best thing that ever happened to Harvest. It put them back in touch with the glue itself. They were writing again, till the TV station opened up. Now, maybe something needs to happen to the TV station, too.
Like glue! No, wait, no, that's stupid.
I don't remember the fire. Tell me about it.
Don't remember?
I've been away. Please.
Well, around 10 o'clock one night, the whole newspaper building went up.
Because they
Just
didn't
like
use
that.
the glue.
An accident.
I'm
Well,
voice
I
acting.
suppose it
It's
was
good,
that.
but
The
it
sheriff
has
never
its
made any
ups
arrests,
and
And he
downs.
would have if there'd been any evidence, now wouldn't he?
I mean, we're gonna see the sheriff as kind of an idiot, so who knows?
I certainly don't wish to discourage you from joining, young man. That's just what you should be striving for. But I can't break the rules for you. You keep trying. You'll get in eventually.
Again, would this porno mag help?
Seems that since the fire, WHAR has filled the void. Now just as many people waste their time watching TV as they ever did reading the paper. Seems like there's less and less mail all the time.
It's enough to make a grown man cry.
It's been missing for months now. I keep
Did you
meaning
blink
to
and
get
miss
another,
that?
but,
Well, that's
the
actually a
button's
problem
very
that I didn't
distinctive.
know about
I'd have to
until
file
later
an
in this game.
S411 with
The Steam
Washington to
version
get
has a
another.
bug
I
that
just
makes the
don't need
cutscenes
extra
go by
paperwork.
really quick.
Sure wish
There
I
is a
could
fix
find
for it, but I didn't do it until later in the
Next
playthrough.
time you post,
Anyway,
don't
back to
forget
whatever's
the zip
going on
code.
here. I'm surprised he didn't tell me to not forget the glue. Weirdo. Alright, here's the incompetent police force. Bug report? I mean, I've already made fun of the game enough. I don't know if I need to report it, sir. It's very easy to misclick in this game.
Hello, Steve. Let me introduce myself. I'm Sheriff Dwayne, and this here's Loomis.
Pleasure, I reckon.
Then
All mine,
we
sir.
haven't met before?
Of course we have, but I heard about your alleged amnesia and figured I'd play along. I sure hope this is just a prank, and not the start of some insanity.
I wonder if this is a plot
You
hole
know,
that they had to
when
re-record
you wind
audio
up
for
in
to
jail,
cover
and
up.
That's no place to hold a wedding.
Or is it? Maybe Loomis can lead the wedding. I'd be interested in seeing that.
Why do you want to break your poor mama's heart with all this amnesia bunk?
I'm telling you the truth. Why won't
Maybe if I
anyone believe
yell,
me?
people will take me seriously.
Well, you've always been a kidder, Steve.
Yeah, so everybody keeps telling me.
Well, you need to stop all this funning and get serious. You've got a wedding coming up soon. Heck, you should be thinking about your career and about joining the lodge.
And maybe getting me a pie.
Amnesia or no, you can't have forgotten you're about to marry the prettiest little thing at Harvest. I think you and Stephanie are perfect for each other. I just hope her father's disappointment doesn't spoil everything.
Or his meat sweats.
Disappointment?
Mr. Potsdam wants to hold the wedding in the lodge, but he'll never get in. Like all the rest, he's always hanging around the post office the first day of the month, waiting for Boyle to bring out that month's lodge applications. And there's always a long line.
Citation
Never
needed.
enough applications to go around, and even if you do get an application, chances are you're right out of luck. Fewer called to the order and even less accepted. And Potsdam, well, they've turned him down so many times, unless he does something radical, he'll never get in.
Do I sense a boss battle with Mr. Potsdam? Maybe in a better game.
Crime-wise, nothing much has happened in Harvest since the newspaper fire. Oh, sure. Every week or so, we get the odd transient dropping dead. But other than that, it gets pretty slow around here.
So what I'm hearing is nothing interesting is going to happen in this game.
Sure. You remember? The Sentinel building burned down about 6 months ago.
That's what I'm telling
The only
you,
reason
Sheriff.
that Steve
I don't
remembers is
remember
because of the
anything.
mailman.
Why won't you believe I have amnesia?
Well, you've always been a kidder, Steve. Anyway, the fireman said the fire was caused by arson. I never caught the perp, though.
So,
But we
case
found
closed.
the gas can that was used. Yes, sirree, Bob. It's in the evidence room.
Loomis, that's classified.
And here I am
Darn it.
giving hints and
How
whatnot to
many
the protagonist.
times you gonna have
Dadgummit.
to tell me to keep my mouth shut, I wonder. Sorry, boss.
You've got the gas can in the evidence room? Did you dust it for prints?
You've been watching too much TV, Steve. Heck, who can make out all those curvy lines anyhow? No, it's sitting in there.
Did this
gathering
sheriff say
dust.
that the TV is a bunch
Clean
of
as the
wavy
day we
lines?
found it.
That's like saying the internet is
Just
a
in
series
case
of
I ever
tubes.
need a spare gas
Oh,
can.
he was talking about
That
fingerprints.
case
Never
is
mind.
closed, Steve. Loomis here is my deputy. Without him, I'd have a hard time keeping the peace, or at least taking a lunch break. Mainly Loomis answers the phone and babysits the office while I'm out, though sometimes he likes to go in the back and stain the jail mattress. Isn't that right, Loomis?
That's okay. I
Sheriff,
don't
what
want to
you
know.
gotta go and say that for?
Loomis has more than his share of problems.
This is when I started
wouldn't
putting the
invite him
mouse
to the
cursor
wedding.
over the photos.
Or if you do, make sure he doesn't catch the garter. That could be embarrassing.
Why would he even be
Oh,
at that portion
I
of the
wouldn't
event?
do nothing, Dwayne. But I sure would like a little garter than been around Stephanie's thigh. Oh, well, that'd be right special.
Shut up, Loomis.
Now, that's a place you don't want to wind up, boy. We've got a 3 strikes and you're out rule here in Harvest.
Depending on what you
get
do, of
arrested
course.
The 3rd time, you never get out of jail alive. So don't go committing any crimes, boy. Amnesia or no, I'll lock you up pronto. I don't mind telling you, I'd never get anything done if not for the lodge's efforts. To join the Order of the Harvest Moon is the highest dream of everyone in Harvest.
But the bar is set pretty low.
Like I said, unless you get an application on the first day of the month, you're generally out of luck. Stop by the post office and talk to Postmaster Boyle. You never know. He might have a spare application laying around. We get a lot of bums, drifters passing through Harvest. Those people are never very healthy to start with. I figure they come to our fair town, look around, and decide it's a nice place to die.
You mean they drop dead here
Because
on a
that's a
regular
normal thing to
basis?
say. I guess this is
Like
Harvester, though.
flies. I'd slap 'em all in jail if I could, but there's never enough room. Besides, they're pretty good about not sticking around long. Sure, it's a burden on Mr. Moynihan, though, having to bury them all. I only hope the PTA Lodge bake sale will help out along those lines. Oh, I forgot. You've got amnesia. Mr. Moynihan operates both the Wayward Hotel and the mortuary. Kind of a double burden for the poor man. Transients always wandering in and looking for a place to crash, then croaking.
Maybe it's not a coincidence.
Steve is stealing my
Maybe crime.
thunder.
Oh no, Moynihan's charity only extends so far. He won't check them in, but he'll sure check them out quick enough. He figures if they can't pay for the room, to hell with them. But if they can't pay for the burial, it's hell for us.
That
What
doesn't
with the
make any
smell and all.
sense. Oh.
I guess you can't say too much against Moynihan. What with him letting you hold the wedding in his mortuary chapel and all.
Mortuary chapel. Obviously the first choice in any wedding.
Stop on by any time. Boy, the way you keep pestering me, you'd think you were feeling guilty about something.
It'll make your
Are
head
you?
spin. No, wait. No, that didn't make any sense.
Stop on by any time. That's the evidence room, where we store items lifted from crime scenes. It's kept locked at all times. There's things in there that could make people jump through hoops, if I
It's
wanted.
got naked photos of Postmaster Boyle.
Anything I can help you with? Help yourself.
Sorry,
Speaking
hep
of
yourself? Come on,
You're
Harvester.
real lucky to be marrying Stephanie. She don't look like a good woman. I just hope she don't turn out like Mrs. Loomis, or mercy forbid Mrs. Phelps. Good women can be awful hard on a man's needs, don't you know?
Wait, she doesn't look like a good woman, but she is a good woman? Makes sense, you old pervert.
Oh gosh darn, she's purty.
Just not a good
Kinda
woman.
like a gal I seen on some of them French postcards they used to make. Used to be, I'd take them things, go back into jail if nobody was there and kind of look them over one-handed.
I don't think this is something I want to hear.
Towels.
Sadly, it's
That
kind of a
was
clue to solve a
before
puzzle if I
Mrs.
remember
Loomis.
correctly.
Of course, I don't necessarily mean French postcards. That's just what we called them in my day. Any kind of girly picture book
Jesus,
Kinda
why are we talking to
like
this guy?
would be just dandy. I'd be right grateful, kiddo, if you were to bring me one.
Get out of here.
Oh gosh, I wish I had some of them girly pictures, but Mrs. Loomis won't let me keep 'em in the house. I still remember the time she caught me holding some of them pictures up with one hand. She took the broom to me.
I kind of want to do the same.
I howled like a hound dog, the broom going up and down, flashing straw and blood and straw, and I was crying so bad, and it was so hard I had to crawl under the porch naked with all the black winter spiders, and I got bit something fierce, little fangs are digging into my bare behind all over. I ask you, is that any way to treat a man? And Mrs. Phelps and the sheriff don't make it no easier, neither.
Sorry, J-Town is not available at the moment, as his brain shut off. Please leave your name and number, and he will get back to you as soon as possible.
Help things none. She's got them special picture books, the one with the ladies. But she won't sell me none on account of she knows my wife, Mrs. Loomis. Dadgum if that don't burn my britches. If and I even ask about 'em, she tells Mrs. Loomis and I get the broom. Enough to break a man's heart. Her burning my French postcards and me unable to replace them. A man's got needs, don't you know?
Huh?
Why, you sure ought to appreciate what a man's got to do sometimes in a parked car or a waist-high knothole in a tree or jail cell at noon. Matter of fact, Mrs. Phelps got no reason not to sell you some of them French postcard girly picture books. If you can get any, and see clear to part with them, bring 'em round when the sheriff's at lunch, and I'd be obliged.
Is this what you all came here for?
If Sheriff Dwayne had a little kindness, he let me get around the little lady by letting me keep some of them picture books here, even if Mrs. Phelps had let me buy one.
Man, Harvester is hell-bent on murdering the English language with this one character.
Like me getting the jail mattress all marked up, don't you know? Sometimes a man can be good with a gun or a knife, but even so, one-handed and all, he can get a little off in his aim. Ain't no shame in it. That's why the good Lord made evaporation and such. But the sheriff, he don't like
Jesus,
it.
dude.
It
I'm
don't
about to do a
pay no
picture-in-picture
mind
with
to a
another
man
game,
in
so I could just
needs,
comment over
no
that.
more than Mrs. Loomis. Bless her. Anytime, kiddo. Kiddo.
No, sorry.
Oh, heck. Why should you be any different from the sheriff or Mrs. Loomis? Steve, I'd be right obliged if you could just see clear to bringing me just one of them books. Believe me, it'll be worth your time to do it.
I guess he's implying he'll let Steve
Anytime,
watch.
kiddo.
Okay, I've talked to enough people in Harvester for one day. I did promise everyone that I would show what would happen when we take the dirty magazine to people around town. Well, in this case, I'm only going to take it to one person because it only does something with one other person aside from Loomis. So let's get to it.
What's that, Mommy?
How dare you? You're a nice boy, Steve, but you need to be taught a lesson.
Yeah, maybe he's not a nice guy, lady. I'd expect a harsher reaction if I'm being honest. So this is one way that Steve can get arrested in the game. To get a little serious for a moment, I think it should go without saying that I don't condone this type of thing or behavior. I'm just showing it off because it's in the game. The other reason that I'm getting a little serious is to also address the elephant in the room. The actor that plays Steve here, Kurt Kistler, was actually arrested for possession of underage pornography. That's super gross, and this guy is a total scumbag. I just wanted to mention that for the sake of covering it, since I'm playing Harvester. On a somewhat funnier note, though, his mugshot looks like it was lifted straight from Harvester, because he had like the same plaid shirt on. Anyway, let's let Sheriff Double D tuck this gross son of a bitch in bed and end the video here. So, in case you're wondering what's going on in this game, the answer is nothing. The first day is honestly just largely figuring out, what the people are like and what's going on, assuming it's your first playthrough. The videos will get more interesting. Well, at least that's what I keep telling myself. Please bear with the weird dialogue until the introductory conversations end. Then it should get a little more coherent. Anyway, I hope you guys got a few laughs from today's video. As always, thank you for watching. Hey y'all, a beta version demo of my game, Tales of Hyperia: The Crimson Knight, is available to play over at my itch.io page. The link is down in the description. The final demo version is set to release by the end of the year, and we'll see massive improvements and upscaling. Make sure you stay tuned for updates.